Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to Illuminating Quran. My name is Sahar Rizk. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today, inshallah, we'll continue with Surah Al-Baqara, verses 257 to 267. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out of darkness into light, and those who disbelieve, their allies are taghut. They take them out of light into darkness. Those are the companion of the fire. They will abide eternally therein. ألم تر إلى الذي حاج إبراهيم في ربه أن آتاه الله الملك إذ قال إبراهيم ربي الذي يحيي ويميت قال أنا أحيي وأميت قال إبراهيم فإن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأت بها من المغرب فبهت الذي كفر والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Have you not considered the one who argued with Abraham about his Lord merely because Allah had given him kingship? When Abraham said, "My Lord is the one who gives life and causes death," he said, "I give life and cause death." Abraham said, "Indeed, Allah brings up the sun from the east, so bring it up from the west." So the disbeliever was overwhelmed by astonishment, and Allah does not argue, does not guide the wrongdoing people. Yusuf Ali said he did his research, and he found that this king was a ruler of Babylonia. And I think in the story of Abraham, or the narrative of Abraham, I mixed the Pharaoh of Egypt, because they had I think, similar conversation. But I think this is the verse that I used, because he was so impressed with Abraham that he gave him a princess, or his daughter, Hajar, to serve Sarah. So I think I'll look into it after Ramadan, inshallah. أو كذا أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها قال أنى يحيي هذه الله بعد موتها فأماته الله 100 عام ثم بعثه قال كم لبثت قال لبثت يوما أو بعد يوم قال بل لبثت 100 عام فانظر إلى طعامك وشرابك لم يتسنه وانظر إلى حمارك ولنجعلك آية للناس وانظر إلى العظام كيف ننشزها ثم نكسوها لحما فلما تبين له قال أعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير. Or consider such an example as the one passed by a township which had fallen into ruin. He said, "How will Allah bring this to life after its death?" So Allah caused him to die for 100 years. Then he revived him. He said, "How long have you remained?" The man says, "I have remained a day or part of a day." He said, Rather, you have remained 100 years. Look at your food and your drink. It has not changed with time. And look at your donkey. And we will make you a sign for the people. And look at the bones of this donkey, how we raise them, and then we cover them with flesh. And then we become and then it became clear to him. He said, I know that Allah is over all things competent. Now they also did a research on him. His name was Ezekiel. He was a priest, a reformer. He was sent by Persian king after the captivity of Jerusalem, and on his way he saw this city that was in ruin, and he was wondering how will God bring it back to life. And that's when God caused his death for 100 years, and then he brought him back just to show him a sign. And then his food did not change at all, but his donkey is all bones. So, and then he showed him how he covered the bones with flesh. Okay. Time, and the moral story is that time is nothing to God. Remember the the cave people. They made him die for 309 years. Asad said, it shows God's power to bring the dead back to life, and he recites from other scholars. Now, here's Sha'rawi. I like him when he tells the story. So Sha'rawi said, yes, a man was passing a city, wonder how would God bring it back to life? So God took his life for 100 years, and when he woke up, he hasn't changed at all. That's why he thought he was dead for a day or part of a day. And then his food did not change. It looks the same, but his donkey was all bones, and God showed him how he covers the flesh. Then he went to the city. This is a story that's interesting. He and found everything changed because it's been 100 years. Nothing is the same. And then there was a female servant that they had in a village, and he talked to her and asked her. He gave her his name is Uzair, and she told him no, he died 100 years ago, and or disappeared 100 years ago. No one knows anything about it. He said, I am Uzair. And then she said, well, Uzair has a special gift. He healed people, and look at me, I am blind now and I can't move. So he prayed for her and she healed. So that was a strong sign for him. And then he went home, and he found when he disappeared, his son was, I think, 18 years. Now he's 118, so they reversed, and he is still 40 years old man. So they said, how can that be? How can you be my father and I am old? So he said, okay, let me see. I know my father had a black mole on his back, and when he saw his back, he knew that was his father. Then it was ayah for everyone. It was a clear sign, a miracle for everyone around. وإذ قال إبراهيم ربي أرني كيف تحيي الموتى قال أولم تؤمن قال بلى ولكن ليطمئن قلبي قال فخذ 4 من الطير فصرهن إليك ثم اجعل على كل جبل منهن جزءا ثم ادعه أدعوهن يأتينك سعيا واعلم أن الله عزيز حكيم. And mention when Abraham says, My Lord, show me how you give life to the dead. Allah said, Have you not believed? He said, Yes, but I ask only that my heart may be satisfied. Allah said, Take 4 birds and commit them to yourself. Then, after slaughtering them, put on each hill a portion of them, then call them. They will come flying to you in haste. And know that Allah is exalted in might and wise. Now, Yusuf Ali is talking also about the surah, but he's saying that Abraham was a true believer, but he wanted to satisfy his own understanding. It's not a matter of believing or not. So the birds were cut into pieces and they were put on different hills, and when he called them to him, they came. So Asad said, Ilayka, make them incline toward thee. So you first teach him to obey you, because birds back then, they used to follow commands. So he trained them first, then kill them, then put different pieces on different mountains, and then call them. Okay? They will still follow your command and come to you. So he said, as Asad said, God, whose will all things obey, can call life into being by simply decreeing be. If you just tell it to be, and it is. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة. Let me try that again. سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. The example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of grain which grows 7 spikes. In each spike is 100 grain, and Allah multiplies His reward to whom He wills, and Allah is all encompassing and knowing. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah and then do not follow up what they have spent with reminders of it or other injury will have their reward with their Lord, and there will be no fear concerning them, nor will they grieve. قل معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعها أذى والله غني حليم. Kind speech and forgiveness are better than a charity followed by injury, and Allah is free of need and forbearing. Maghfirah, forgiveness. Veiling another's wants. All right. Okay, so Yusuf Ali explained the charity because there are 3 verses, all 3 verses about charity. So charity is like 700 deeds. And then here, and then you cannot follow it by reminding the people, remember my charity all the time and making them feel bad. So he's saying that a very high standard set for charity. It has to be for the cause of Allah. So it cannot be because your vanity or you know, in front of people. And it must not be followed by reference or a reminder of the act, constantly reminding people of what you did for them. The giver relieved the person in an hour of need, and it should not be out of kindness. Um, you turn a blind eye, you don't announce it, and you do not remind him of his shortcoming. That kind of kills the charity. Um, the story of a father and his children. Oh, that remind me of perceptive. Okay, the Dr. Wayne Dreyer, he was on a train one day, and he was having a it was a peaceful morning, and then he saw these children. They were all over the place. They were um obnoxious. They're turning everywhere, and they were annoying him actually, to the point where he actually said something to the father. Can you do something about these wildly children? And he said, the father said, I would, but we just left the hospital. Let me find where it is. They just left the hospital where their mom has passed away. And all of a sudden, instead of all this resentment, uh, all of a sudden, he was just full with empathy and compassion. You don't know what people are going through. So when he says his shortcoming, you don't know what the people. If you feel like helping, help him, and don't concern yourself or judge, because you don't know what they're going through. Here, Dr. Wayne Dyer, he thought the father has absolutely no control and he should act on how the kids are acting, but they just lost their mother, and he didn't know. He's overwhelmed. He didn't know how to control this, you know. And it's a good thing that the children even didn't feel the loss, but the father was overwhelmed. um all right. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى كذلك ينفق ما كالذي ينفق ماله رئاء الناس ولا يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فمثله كمثل صفوان عليه تراب فأصابه وابل فتركه صلدا لا يقدرون على شيء مما كسبوا والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. O you who have believed, do not invalidate your charity with reminders or injury, as does one who spends his wealth only to be seen by the people and does not believe in Allah and the last day. His example is like that of a large smooth stone upon which is dust, and is hit by a downpour that leaves it bare. They are unable to keep anything of what they have earned, and Allah does not guide the disbelieving people. Okay, so Yusuf Ali, he said it's comparing the mannu other man when other is like when you constantly remind them of your charity. It's like making him feel small. If you give someone your pants and in front of people say, oh, he's wearing my pants or something like that, and you're hurting his feeling in front of people. So he's saying it is compared to a hard barren rock on which uh, rain has fallen a little soil. Okay, let's go back here. It's like a smooth rock Okay, if it was a rock that has a little bit of grooves or something, maybe the dust will stay, well, some of the dust will remain inside. But when it's smooth, once the water or pouring rain comes, it wipes it bare. That's what happens. That's similar to your deeds. Once you start making people feel small, it washes away your deeds as if you've never earned any deeds. I hope that makes sense. Nothing remains whatsoever. Okay. Okay. وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ ابتغاء مرضات الله وتثبيتا من أنفسهم كمثل جنة بربوة أصابها وابل فأتت أكلها ضعفين فإن لم يصبها وابل فطل والله بما تعملون بصير. An example of those who spend their wealth seeking means of approval of Allah and assuring reward for themselves is like a garden on high ground, which is hit by a downpour, so it yields its fruit in double. And even if it is not hit by a downpour, and then a drizzle is sufficient. And Allah of what you do is seeing. Okay, so true charity is like a field with good soil. It catches good showers of rain. The moisture penetrates the soil, yet it elevates situation and keeps it well drained. But even if it's not abundant, if it's just a drizzle, it will still be sufficient to have a wonderful garden. Little moisture will still be sufficient to have that is a true charity. It goes a long way, kind of. Okay, very nice. أيود أحدكم أن يكون له جنة من نخيل وأعناب تجري من تحتها الأنهار له فيها من كل الثمرات وأصابه الكبر وله ذرية ضعفاء فأصابها إعصار فيه نار. إعصار is a whirlwind. It's like a tornado, but with fire. فيه فير فاحترقت كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تتفكرون. Would one of you like to have a garden of palm trees and grapevine, and underneath which rivers flow, in which he has from every fruit? But he's afflicted with old age, and has weak offsprings, and it is hit by whirlwind containing fire, and is burned. Everything is burned. Thus does Allah makes clear to you his verses that you might give thought. Okay, so it's exactly what I said. It's supposed you have a wonderful garden, fertile, delightful view of stream, and then old age hit, and you have children who are still either too young or they're very feeble in health. Okay, so either or, but they're weak. And then you're hit by a whirlwind tornado with fire, and it destroyed everything. It burns everything to the ground. We are too old to begin again. Our children are too weak, too young to help us repair the mischief. So our chance is lost because we did not provide against such contingency. The whirlwind is wrath to come. Provision against it. It is life through charity. Okay. And righteousness. So, in order for you to, um, what was the word that I'm looking for? You did not provide against such contingency, and to provide for it is to give charity, and God will look out for you when God's wrath hits. Then you'll be saved, or you'll be helped. God will send help somehow. All right. Kind of give and take, huh? You kind of give, paying it forward with nice charity to God only, not to the people, and not to hurt people's feelings. And then when the wrath comes, or maybe if you're a charitable person, God will avoid. Uh, maybe when it hits, a tornado hits, maybe it's not very damaging. Uh, not duafa, or duafa is weak. Okay. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم ومما أخرجنا لكم من الأرض ولا تيمموا الخبيث منه تنفقون ولستم بآخذيه إلا أن تغمدوا فيه واعلموا أن الله غني حميد. O you who have believed, spend from the good things which you have earned, and from that which we have produced for you from the earth, and do not aim toward the defective therefrom, spending from that while you would not take it yourself except with closed eyes. And know that Allah is free of need and praiseworthy. Yeah, if you're gonna give something good, of value. Like if you give away horse, don't make sure it's not a vicious horse that it harms people. Or car engine is too far gone that it is dangerous for the following people. So if you're gonna give something of value, and to help other, not to harm others. I don't know. I felt like there's a series, Chinese series. It's called Love Like the Galaxy. It's after the war. All the soldiers were famished and wounded and and this lady offered them a bowl of rotten rice. Almost, it was not even a good bowl of rice. And then, but one of the soldiers that she helped that day was the future king of China or something like that. Yeah, and he showered her and her family with favors. And then when she became a complete tyrant and unfair to a lot of people, the king decreed some punishment, and she was so angry, saying, "After all I've done," her husband finally spoke up and reminded her that she better stop. It wasn't even a good bowl of rice. So in Islam, when you're feeding someone, when you're giving charity, it better be right from the same pot that you're serving your family and your kids, not the something that you're about to throw away. Remember, sometimes when you either missed maybe an oath, and you went to kafara and you have to feed 10 people, it has to be something right from the same pot that you're feeding your own children or your own family, but not something that you're about to throw away. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, that's the verses of Baqarah for Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take good care. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.